Okay guys, you're in a nutshell with me, Ina. Meron pong isang premiere dito sa Canada. Hindi premiere ng pelikula ha. Premiere ng isang probinsya, kumbaga parang governor po nila dito, no? Ang nagsasabi na dapat raw ang mga non-permanent resident, okay, well, sa kanyang probinsya, dapat ratuhin sila na parang mga turista. Okay, in short, if you are an international student, temporary foreign worker sa kanyang probinsya, turista ka. At kung ikaw ay isang turista, you do not have the right to demand government or access to government social services, government-funded social services like healthcare, childcare benefits, even education for your kids. Dapat raw makuha lang yan ng isang tao sa probinsyang yan kapag sila ay permanent resident na. And obviously, citizen. Do you agree with that? We are talking about the province of Alberta and its premier, Miss Danielle Smith. Okay, umiikot ngayon sa social media yung kanyang proposal na yan. Guys, proposal pa lang po yan. Okay, many people think malabo daw mangyari yan kasi it goes against yung constitution, kung ano ang dapat, ang karapatan ng mga residente dito na access to healthcare. We'll see, no? But right now, it's a proposal. And according to her, it will be a question asked to residents of Alberta in a referendum na wala pa pong date kung kailan. Okay? Pero yun na nga ang kanyang punto. Basically saying na dapat may ambag muna sa ekonomiya raw bago makakuha ng mga serbisyong yan. For this episode, that is what I want to talk to you about. Ask you, actually, lalo na yung mga nanonood sa atin dyan sa bandang Alberta. Do you support this call? Halimbawa, mangyari na yung referendum, anong sasagot ninyo? Yes, no? Tigil ba muna ang social services for non-permanent residents? Yeah. Okay. So before I give my short, opinion about this, ipe-play ko po muna yung interview ni Ms. Danielle Smith last month. This is from Rebel News. Okay, mahaba po yung interview, so I will just be playing a portion of it. Dun lang sa topic natin, okay? Ito po yun.
Program, but the federal government's irresponsibility has put huge costs onto our taxpayers. And so what I've looked at in the UK, Keir Starmer, he's having this conversation about whether you have to work for 5 years before you are able to receive social services. I believe that's their current policy. They're talking about making a person wait 10 years. And so you should come to Alberta because you have a job. You should be a taxpayer first. And then if you want to stay and become a permanent resident, that's when you can bring in your wife and your kids and you can start on the pathway to permanent citizenship. We believe that those who are not here in a permanent status should be treated like tourists. And as a tourist, you don't go to somebody else's country and say, pay for my childcare, pay for my education, pay for my healthcare, pay for my long-term care, give me a pension. We have to get back to something approaching a consensus around immigration again. And so that's what we're going to be looking to Albertans to see if they want to give us a mandate to do that.
Okay. Una sa lahat, agree ba kayo na tourist talaga yung ginamit niyang comparison? Ako parang hindi, no? Nagigets ko guys, una sa lahat, aminin na natin, hindi naman po talaga patas ang tingin ng tao sa temporary resident at permanent resident dito. That is just a reality. Temporary residents are much more vulnerable to policy changes. Policy changes that could, lead to their eventual exit here. Diba? Hindi po kasing secure, syempre, ang pakiramdam ng mga temporary resident dito. So, let's agree on that. But then, tagging them or saying that they're just like tourists, parang hindi ako nag-agree doon. No? Lalo na yung mga temporary foreign workers natin na healthcare workers, grabe naman, no? Hindi lang po mga bumibisita yan sa pamilya nila dito, hindi lang po sila nag-e-enjoy ng nature dito. They are performing tasks na kaunting Canadians lang po ang gustong gumawa, lalo na halimbawa yung mga caregiver, no? These people are doing critical work, especially for the elderly population here, diba? Baka makasama lang loob lang ba nila na sabihin para lang silang mga turista dito nag-e-enjoy lang, no? Hindi po. Okay, but anyway, meron pa akong ipe-play po na isang clip, okay, na sinasabi po ni Premier Danielle Smith na isa rin po sa kanya mga issues sa current immigration policy is, hindi na raw kasi focused, sabi niya, sa pagtanggap ng mga tinatawag na economic migrants. Ano po ba itong mga economic migrants? These are people who come here with very good job prospects. Okay? As opposed to, ano ba yung mga hindi economic migrants? For example, those who come in through family reunification, yung family sponsorship, refugees, international students. Okay, play ko lang po muna yung sinabi niya tungkol dyan.
Laws. Tell me some of your latest ideas. You were thinking that newcomers maybe have a waiting period before they can get into social services. What are your ideas?
Well, I guess a couple things I'd say is that I think that the federal government destroyed the historic consensus we've always had in Canada. We used to have an enviable immigration system based on points, bringing in professionals, giving extra points for people who had degrees and could speak one of the official languages, and they blew that up. That we received a very large number of temporary workers, refugees, family reunification, international students, pretty much everyone but the economic migrants that had always been the source of its success. And we're seeing it. It has brought our public services almost to the brink of collapse. That's one of the challenges that we face in our education system, is we went from having a stagnant enrollment in our system to having a net new 85,000 kids added, 96,000 of which speak English as a second language, or English language learners, which is double what we saw 3 years ago. It's put enormous pressure. People are seeing the pressure in being able to get a doctor or nurse practitioner. They're seeing a pressure on buying a house, getting rent. The price of everything is going up, and they're frustrated. When I was going around with the Alberta.
So, yeah, nagigets ko yung point yung sinasabi niya po, no? Dahil nga, samot-sari na yung uri ng mga newcomers na tinatanggap. It has put a lot of pressure on government resources. Yan, it worsened yung problema sa healthcare, long queues in emergency rooms, for the appointments, yung mga medical procedures, ang tagal na lalo. Okay, may pressure din daw sa school, sa education, capacity, etc. At what she's trying to say is, sana mas marami na lang sa economic migrants, because at least, what she's implying is, at least these people have a higher potential to contribute to society. Okay, kasi yun nga yung pinupunto niya. Dapat may ambag muna bago natin bigyan ng government services. Pero for me, parang may nakikita akong contradicting sa kanyang sinasabi. Because, sabi niya dapat daw may ambag muna, magbayad muna ng taxes. Pero ang pinupuri po niya yung panahon noon, di ba, na mas focus sa economic migrants. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I mean, if I remember correctly, nung panahon po na yun, mas uso ang tinatawag na landed immigrants, hindi po ba? Yung sinasabi niya, magaganda yung background, di ba? Many people arrived then, yung sinasabi niyang magandang era, as landed immigrants. And as landed immigrants, parang PR na po yan, immediately, they were given access to government, healthcare, etc., school for the kids. So parang may konting contradicting doon, di ba? What will happen to those who come in through express entry, applicants outside Canada? O PR po yan. Paano yun? Would you apply that same logic to them? So what I'm trying to say is, sa totoo lang, mahirap. Hindi ko rin alam kung ano ang tamang sagot, because the proposal would be difficult to enforce given the current immigration program. Ano yung mga nag-a-apply ng caregiver program? Okay. Halimbawa, sakaling mag-open muli for outside applicants. That's PR on arrival. So, paano mag-a-apply ito sa kanya? O, puntahan natin yung mga temporary foreign workers. I know, the biggest reaction is, nagbabayad din naman kami ng taxes. Nagigets ko yung point nila, no? Siguro mas kaya siyang i-disregard kung hindi sobrang taas ng taxes na binabayad. Kung tutuusin, mas nauna pang magbayad yung mga dumating dito as temporary workers as opposed, possibly, to those who would come in sa express entry na minsan maghihintay pa ng panahon bago sila makakuha ng trabaho at mag-ambag sa ekonomiya. So, That's what I'm trying to say. This proposal, although, parang may logic din, in a way. Kumbaga kasi ina-allocate niya na mas mabuti yung financial resources ng probinsya, no? But then, ang hirap niyang ni-enforce considering the existing immigration program. That's how I see it. If i-enforce nila yan, dapat ang dami din nilang babaguhin sa immigration program. Plus, dun nga sa issue ng taxes, parang ang hirap isipin. Kawawa naman yung iba. Nag-aambag naman sila ng taxes. So, ano ang kapalit nun? 'Di ba? Pwede bang bawasan? But then again, on the other hand also, naiisip ko, I'm not sure if that is also enough justification for TFWs to say na deserve namin yan dahil nagbabayad din kami ng taxes. Because sa totoo lang po, this policy, hindi naman po ito radical proposal. It is being done by other countries. A number of countries, meron po talagang parang waiting period bago po ang isang tao sa kanila ay mabigyan ng access sa publicly funded healthcare, for example. Meron po talagang ganyan, even if that foreigner or foreign worker is paying taxes there. Halimbawa, sa UK, yung sinasabi po niya, I assume foreign workers there also pay taxes. And yet, yung existing policy nga po nila, tulad ng sinabi niya, ay kailangan 5 years muna bago maging PR. Tapos kapag PR, tsaka lang po sila makakakuha ng social services. Okay, and now they are studying, extending that policy to 10 years pa. Imagine that, ang tagal, diba? Siyempre, na-curious din ako sa totoo lang, guys. And pinuntahan ko yung website, parang library ng Parliament ng UK. At ito po yung nakita ko, no? Ito yung sa proposal nila. Kung gagawin daw 10 years, meron din naman pong exemptions. Sabi dito, for example, people in higher skill jobs who earn more than £50,000 or work in public sector like healthcare and teaching could still qualify after 5 years. So meron pong mga ganyang exemptions. What we don't know is if ito ba ang gustong sundin na sistema ni Premier Daniel Smith. We don't know. Okay, wala pa naman pong klarong framework siyang dinidiscuss. It's just so far, the idea of dapat i-limit ang pagbibigay ng social services to para sa para sa mga permanent residents. So what do you think about that? Especially, again, yung mga kababayan natin dyan sa Alberta, would you support this? Kunyari, mangyari na yung referendum, sasang-ayon ba kayo dyan o hindi? Diba? Yung sa akin, again, nagigets ko yung logic, lalo na sa panahon ngayon, guys, na mahirap ang pera. Siyempre, baka kasi sa polisiyang ito, magkaroon ng more flexibility yung provincial government to offer financial assistance, for example, sa mga citizens and permanent residents. Nagigets ko yung logic na yan. Pero yung enforcement side, sa totoo lang, nahihirapan na kung isipin kung paano siya mangyayari. First off, also pala, as early as now, many are questioning whether or not kaya ba itong magawa because it might contradict with the Constitution of Canada, which states na dapat may equal access sa healthcare ang mga tao po, ang mga residente po dito. Anyway, let me know what you guys think. Kung curious po kayo kung kailan yung referendum, yan ang tanong ninyo. Wala pa pong pinag-uusapan tungkol dyan na date. So far, ang alam ko lang po kasi dyan last year, di ba, nagkaroon po ng panel yung Alberta. Yung isang grupo po ng mga tao umiikot in different towns in Alberta consulting residents about the different issues faced by the province like an immigration, police, sa kanilang pension plan. I think nag-conclude na yung panel na yan, yung activity nila. So, ang inaasahan nga natin, they will come up with a set of questions, okay, to ask in a referendum for Albertans. Wala pa pong date tungkol dyan. Of course, ang pinaka-inaabangan natin ay yung magiging posisyon ng mga residente sa Albertans tungkol sa immigration policy. Okay? So, that is it for this episode. Let me know what you guys think. I will end this episode here. See you guys in the next one. Bye!